In the Philippines, torrential rain brought by tropical storm Ketsana poured from Saturday morning non-stop till Sunday morning, causing the worst flooding in Manila since 1967. At least 100 people have been reported dead and over 30 are missing. Electricity into the city has been interrupted, but the Philippines Tzu Chi volunteers still gather at Jinsi Hall on Sunday morning to prepare to relieve victims of the disaster. Due to electrical shortage, a fire broke out in a slum in nearby Quezon City, displacing over 2,000 people. Tzu Chi volunteers quickly arrived to distribute food and dry clothes.
Tzu Chi Philippines chapter director Li Wei-song has lived in Manila for more than 28 years and is caught in the worst flooding in more than 40 years.
The government has said the dams might breach, so they discharged water yesterday. Pretty much the whole of Manila was flooded. My house has never been flooded, but yesterday the water was up to the first floor. My car, office and storage have all been flooded.
Despite the many Tzu Chi volunteers who are themselves flood victims, volunteers gather into teams to help those worse off. In a slum in Barangay Tatalon of nearby Quezon City, a fire broke out when exposed electrical wires came into contact with rainwater. Caught between the fire and water, 6 lives were lost.
Last night was very difficult for us. If we didn't swim for it, we would have been burned alive.
Edgardo only managed to save his child in the fire. He stares at his wife's picture with remorse and pain.
Her hands just slipped away. I could only hold on to my child. I only saved one.
The volunteers prepare hot meals in darkness as the electricity was still out. They work quickly as over 2,000 displaced slum residents haven't had anything to eat since the night before.
We went shopping for supplies this morning and are now preparing hot meals. This will be those people's lunch. They haven't had anything to eat since last night. We'll also bring them dry clothes to change into. They've been drenched by the rain.
Many residents didn't even have time to put on shoes to escape the fire. Tzu Chi volunteers thoughtfully prepared an array of sizes.
We're victims of a fire and floods. Thanks so much for Tzu Chi's help.
Due to the extent of the flood damage, Tzu Chi volunteers will conduct survey and visitations first to understand the flood victims' needs before carrying on with full-scale relief.